Hey, my crew, how are we doing? Okay, today we are looking at Mr. 18 Putts, Cam Smith's putting stroke, and we're doing it with his forever coach, Grant Field. How are you, Grant?
I'm well, mate. You?
Very well, very, very well. I'm excited to do this because I saw it was a week ago now or something, wasn't it, that he did it?
Yeah.
And I think I was on the text here straight away. I'm like, oh my God, we've got to have a look at this because it's been a part of his game. He's always been good at, but it's just getting better and better at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's always been a really, really good putter, and especially a really good clutch putter. I think
Yeah.
I've seen him do some amazing things with that club. At definitely when it matters, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt about that. He's good under the pump. So let's grab this up and have a quick look at it. Okay, so here we got Cam Stroke here. This looks like where is it? Is that Colonial or something? No.
Uh, Riviera.
Oh, it's a Riviera, of course. Sorry.
It
Okay,
was the
cool.
last
So
time I had travel, so
last time, right? Okay, so probably at the very start of last year or something like that.
I think it was from then. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So this is really, really cool. It's such a great looking stroke. Really, really good visuals. You've got him here on the mirror. And look, I think the thing that I see straight away is just, I mean, there's so many neutral things about it. Like, I think that, you know, I'm assuming that this is all the stuff that you like to see, where you get his spine pretty much straight up and down. He's relatively level in his shoulders. And even the shaft, some people talk about lots of shaft lean and things like that, but all these things are pretty neutral.
yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, mate. So if you look at his setup, I mean, something that we spend a lot of time on, and obviously, one of the things where we use the mirror a lot to check in with eye alignment, shoulder position, things like that, and then making sure that. Like you said, he's very neutral with how he sets up from a balance point of view, but also, like you said, how that spine's positioned at address, the head position,
Mm.
the eye alignment, all that very neutral.
So something I also see here when I look at it on the right hand side, like you look at his posture and it's actually quite rounded, like in this sense.
Yep.
Sometimes you look at people and they might even like literally throw a shaft down the back of their spine to try and, get something absolutely perfectly ramrod straight so that it's that way. But you don't like that, do you?
No, I don't. I don't. I like to see sort of that more rounded look at the upper spine. The reason for that is it allows them to sort of, for a better term, almost tuck their chin and get their eye alignment not only sort of over the line of the ball, but actually their eyes straight down on the ball. What happens when you set with that sort of, like you said, that straight back, and is the eye alignment tends to look too far out over the ball, and then you're looking through what they call a secondary gaze, so the lower part of your vision, to try and look at the ball. So I like to see our primary gaze basically right down, either on the ball or slightly on the inside. So by
Yep.
getting rounded to that upper spine, it allows the head and neck to sit in a better position. Also allows the arm hang to hang, more down from the shoulders. So, and then from there you can see that sort of shaft and forearm alignment run in alignment down to the ball. So for me,
Mm.
yeah, I like to see that. The other thing, like any swing, we like to be nice and balanced in our feet. So if I was to run a line sort of from under the armpit down past the front of the knee and through the laces, we can see you sort of got those three balance points there,
Yeah.
all in alignment. So for me, that's kind of a really good start position. And like you had before, that line on the spine from the left hand side, would run, if we ran a line through the spine, would run straight through the head. A lot of times
Oh, yeah.
I see people, with their head sort of tilted to the side, back and under, usually at address, and then from there, fairly level across those shoulders. I mean, the left arm, generally is always going to sit a little higher, especially with a conventional grip, but as level as possible as we can there at address. So
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, it looks so relaxed, and I know that that is
yeah,
such a vague term, and there's no specifics to it. But I
yep,
think that often when you get those people that have those really, really straight backs, and as you said, they look like they're looking out here and then look down their nose at the ball. I think that that's
yeah,
probably a good way to think. Like the secondary gaze is when you've got to look down your nose at it. You don't want to have to do that. You want to feel like you've got the right posture where you're hunched in all the right spots, which allows you to look straight down this way.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and it just looks so relaxed as a consequence,
Well,
and especially, yeah,
like anything, any sporting movement that's done well, it looks athletic and it looks very relaxed and repeatable, doesn't it? So, and that's what we
amazing.
yeah, And, as I said, I mean, one of his keys is, is to be balanced, is to get his eye alignment right, and then also, try and feel really balanced in his feet, and then, to strike the ball out of the center of the putter. They're really simple concepts, but really key concepts to, to rolling the ball nicely.
And how do you think about, like, if we move into his stroke, like, how do you think about stroke length? Because obviously you've got the mirror here, which is something you've actually developed this mirror, haven't you, personally? And it's been something you're obsessed with mirrors, aren't you? And so talk to me about how you use the mirror and then how it works with the length.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I've been sort of fiddling around trying to get the right mirror for a long time, and I think we've ended up with the right product finally. I've been working with a mate for about 10 years, and then recently, Richard Woodhouse and myself have sort of, refined it, and then we've got another gentleman on board who's back to basics, and he's done a great job in bringing the product to market, and doing a fantastic job of, just the overall look and feel of how the putter mirror is presented to the public. So, we're really happy. But with this mirror, obviously, the main keys, obviously is, being able to set the putter face properly, set the eye alignment, shoulder alignment. We've also got, the arc built into the mirror. We've also, you can adjust sort of the amount of arc. For some people, there's sort of some adjustable T holes on the outside for somebody who might arc it a little bit more or a little less. The line that's obvious there is a conceptual arc, and pretty constant for most putters, but, as I said, is adjustable if you need to. We've also got some holes in the back for stroke length to place tees, probably more for our 6, 8, 10 foot putts, for length of stroke on the backswing. But to get back to your question before about length of stroke, if you notice with Cam, you'll see that the through stroke is probably the same length as the backswing, or maybe even slightly shorter. I think for a lot of people, we were taught, to have shorter backswings and to follow through. If you watch, a high percentage of the good putters, they basically have very similar, backswing lengths to forward swing lengths, or in this case, ever so slightly shorter on the through swing. So obviously when the putter collides with the ball and through the natural loss of momentum, it's going to swing slightly shorter as a general rule. So for me, I'm big on sort of 50-50 to slightly shorter on that follow through. One of the things that stops players from doing that is, having, in my opinion, too slow or too short a backswing, and then really needing to accelerate the putter to obviously get enough speed to get to the hole, and then they'll over accelerate the follow through, which generally, results in some face issues as well, which obviously not only is their control affected by that, but they're also, their direction is affected by that as well.
Yeah, and I think there's two things there that I want to pick up on. That I love the way you use the word collide. Like, I don't think I've heard many putting coaches use that word, but what it it implies is that the ball is in the way of the putter head rather than you're actually ever trying to hit it. There's no hitting motion to it at all. It's literally a collision of a very, very consistent stroke. And then what you sort of said as well is that it's something which is, this is something you hear sometimes on the commentary, is that people say, oh, he really, decelerated into that and he didn't accelerate the putter head. But we now know that that's not actually what you want at all. You actually want a really consistent sort of stroke and speed through impact, don't you?
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at the backswing, he's obviously creating the energy that he needs in the swing to allow that putter head to flow back into the ball. But I mean, like we discussed earlier, like with using things like Capto on that, we've now realised that just prior to impact, that the putter head is coasting. It's actually not accelerating. So if it's coasting at a consistent speed, then collides with something, it's going to slow down, isn't it? So the putter head's actually going to slow from that collision. No different to, a car hitting something. It's going to slow down because it's collided with, with something. So, for me, with the putter head, he's created enough energy, so enough length and speed to the backswing to allow that putter head to crash into the ball and, to send the ball on its way, so to speak.
It's sort of just in closing here, because there's just so much gold there. But so when you think about the arc, because I think this is something which is still not completely understood, and then even if it is understood, potentially over exaggerated at times. Yep. So once people sort of understand there is an arc in the stroke, that it's not straight back and straight through, that that putter head is going to ever so slightly work to the inside of that line.
Yeah, just because that the shaft sits on. If the shaft sat at 90 degrees to the putter head, then it could swing back and through on that. But because it's swinging up an inclined plane, so essentially it's on an angle, it's going to swing on that slight arc-looking stroke. But the shaft is actually travelling, sort of straight back on that inclined plane, isn't it?
But it is an arc, isn't it? I think that once you do explain it to people, often they're like, "Oh, right, I get it. It's an arc. It's a semicircle, and they can end up swinging it on something like this."
not actually trying to arc it. Because of the angles of their body and how their body sets, and how the shaft, like I said, comes out of the head. That's what creates the arc, rather than them trying to physically make the putter go around, like you said.
Right, that's really cool. That is so cool. It's just such those people that stand over a ball and they just look like they're going to make absolutely everything. And I mean, that's almost inexplicable. How can someone actually set up to something and it just looks like it's going to go in? But Cam has absolutely got that, and it's just years of hard work.
Well, I think, and one of the things for us especially with the mirror is that level of consistency. Like I said before, we know the formula of things that work. He's just getting better and better and better and better at it. I think sometimes in our effort to, try and improve, we look for new stuff all the time rather than knowing what works and improving on that. Again, I just think too often we're looking for the newest and greatest and latest things, and I don't think it's a bad thing to want to push the envelope, but I think sometimes there's certain things that have been proven over and over and over again to work. We just stay on track with those.
It's hard though, isn't it? Everyone's looking for that new thing that's gonna make it happen overnight.
Well, and too, I think as bad as this sounds, there's a lot of people out there trying to sell a dream or an idea or and marketing stuff as the latest and greatest, and and unfortunately, it's just not the way it is. There's certain things that kind of work, and there's a lot of different things that can work. There's plenty of good putters that may not do what Cam does, but still doesn't make them wrong. It's just different, and but I think for us, I'm pretty happy where we're at.
You should be. Where's the so you've got Northern Trust that's starting in a couple of days. So you've got the FedEx, obviously. Where is the FedEx at the moment? Like 18th or 17th?
15 or 16, I think. 16.
Right, fantastic. So he can still win the FedEx from there, really.
Yeah. Win this week or win next week, and like we said, you're better off starting from a couple back or at the top rather than 10 back and trying to win. So look, I mean, he's been playing good golf, and he probably doesn't feel like he's got the most out of what he's actually done lately. So hopefully three really good weeks, kind of a la Billy Horschel a few years ago, and
exactly
take day and off you go.
Oh, fantastic! And you get
Oops, say that again.
Of that.
I don't know about a nice chunk.
And you'll get a nice chunk
of
that.
It'll be right.
It'll be something. It'll be something.
Look, I definitely wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. saying no to that as well.
Exactly. All right, mate. Thanks so much. It's always a pleasure. Let's check back in a few weeks, and hopefully he's won the FedEx.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Talk to you.